Hello. Just gonna leave this open for a few minutes. Let everyone jump on in. All right. So you can just find a comfy spot on your mat and we'll just hang out here until everyone else catches up. I'm just gonna leave this hanging out. All right. I'll come to my mat too. It's almost noon. You can come sit however is comfy for you, either on a prop or a little pillow, sitting cross-legged, or you can try kneeling to kind of switch it up. But whoever's joined us already, let's just close our eyes and breathe for a little bit. Try to shake off the to-do list, anything that's kind of cluttering your mind. And we'll just breathe here until everyone can join us, and we'll start our moving at noon. I can hear the church bell, so it's noon already. All right. Good day, everybody. Hopefully this gives you a nice little break in your work day. So we'll close our eyes, start with a couple inhales and exhales. Every time you inhale, try to feel as if there's length being created in your spine. Your body's starting to feel a little light. And then on your exhale, feel like your shoulders are going down and back. You're relaxing your jaw. A couple more like that. As you inhale, feel as if you're floating up. Everything's starting to be a little lighter. And then exhale, shoulders go down. You can even have a little bit of movement. A couple more breaths just like that. All right. As you're breathing here, you can take a little bit of a scan. Close your eyes and scan your body from head to toe, seeing if there's any tight areas or spots that you want to pay attention to today. See if you're holding your stress in any parts of your body. And as you inhale and exhale, just try to let it go. One more inhale and exhale, the deepest one you've taken all day. You'll go in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let it go. Good, and from there we can start with some movement. You can roll your neck side to side. Let it roll one more time, to the left and to the right. And then bring your head back to the center. You're going to reach your arms overhead. Take your gaze with it as you go. Interlace your hands, press your palms up like a big good morning stretch. And then keep your hands together, bring them to the back of your head and tuck your chin to your chest, rounding your upper back. Couple more times like that, pressing your palms up towards the ceiling, like you're doing a big good morning stretch. Feel your heart open, and then relax, hands to the back of your head and around your upper back. One more time for the reach, reaching your arms up. And then release your hands to your shoulders, your head comes back to the center, and we're gonna roll our shoulders forward. And backwards. One more time. And then release your hands, shake them out. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can kind of roll on over to your knees, and then we're going to bring our left hand behind us, press into the floor, lift up, sweep your arm up towards the back, pressing your hips up. And then as your seat comes down, sweep your hands down to the floor. We're switching sides. Now the right hand presses into the floor. You're lifting your hips up, opening your heart, reaching towards the back of the room. Let's try one more time each side now that we got it. Bring your seat down, sweep your hands forward. Left hand plants behind you. Press your hips up, open your chest. And down onto the other side. Sweeping your arms around, press, lift. And down. Good job. Bring your hands down. You're going to come to your hands and knees and just straighten out one leg at a time to loosen up your legs. And then back to the center. We'll do some cat-cows here, so you're arching your back, lifting your gaze up. And then start to tuck your tailbone, press away from the mat. And back and forth like that. Follow with your breathing. You inhale as you come up and exhale as you round. So we're just going to change the angle on that a little bit. So come to neutral, bring your hands out to the side, and then try a couple cat-cows like that. Arching and rounding your back, loosening up your spine. As you're coming through with your rounded back, you can kind of press on your hands and then bring them over to the other side. Arching and rounding over here. Next time you round your back, press away from the floor and bring your hands back to the center. Now you're going to bring your right hand forward a little bit and try a couple gentle cat-cows here. Next time you're rounding your back, we're going to switch. Left hand comes forward a little bit and then arching and rounding here. And then you'll bring your hands back together. And we're going to take our right leg out behind us. And a little bit of glute action. We're lifting it up towards the ceiling. We're going to tap it to the left off of our mat. Take your gaze to look. And then lift it back and up and over off your mat to the other side. And back and forth like that. Let your gaze follow it as you're tapping your right toes off the mat on either side. Try to lift it up as high as you can in the center as you go. Last one, and then bring it straight out behind you. You're going to plant your foot down, pivot on the left leg a little bit so we can come into a modified little side plank there. Once you find your balance, your top hand, reach it over so your arm's past your ear. Really plant the back foot down. Big side body stretch. You can hold here if that feels good, or we'll add in some little crunches. So you're taking the top hand and tapping it with that back knee as it comes up. Reach it out long, bring it to the center, tap it together. Reach, crunch in the middle. Last one, crunch everything, extend long, and then come back to the center. Now we're going to kick our left leg out straight behind us. And a couple little taps on either side of the mat. Following it with your gaze as you go. Remember to lift it up high through the center. Feel your glutes turn on. One more time. And then you're keeping that leg out behind you. You're gonna plant it down, opening your hips up to the side, make a little kickstand with this bent leg, and find your plank on the other side. Reach that top arm forward, side body stretch. And then we're gonna take those crunches. So you're reaching everything out long, tapping elbow to knee in the center. Two more. After your second one, you can let everything come down, roll back over to the center, and we'll come into down dog. Stretch your shoulders and our legs out. Feel free to move around here if you'd like. Dropping one heel at a time. And then come forward into your plank. Hold. You can hold here in stillness for 3 breaths, or you can tap your shoulders if you want a little bit more of a energy burst for the afternoon. And then back to stillness. Lower as slowly as you can your chest all the way to the floor. Good. Just warm up our shoulders a little more here. We're gonna sweep our hands out in front, tapping our fingers. And then like we're swimming, bring your arms back, palms facing towards the ceiling, tap your fingers there. Going back and forth like this. If you want to get your legs and your back involved, squeeze your legs and they can hover off the ground here a little bit. One more. And then reset your hands underneath your shoulders. Bend at the knees, bring your toes to touch, widen your knees a little bit, and we're pressing right back to child's pose. One big push and relax at the back. Look in between your hands. You're going to start to bring yourself up back to that tabletop, hands and knees, and then into your plank. We're going to step our right foot to the outside of our right hand for a little lunge here. You can wiggle around a little bit. You can always drop that back knee. But we're going to switch leg to leg like this. So press away from the floor to make yourself some space. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot forward. That back knee can come up or down. You can work on lowering your chest to the floor. A little bit of gentle movement here. Let's do that one more time each side. So make some space first. You're pressing away from the floor. Step your left foot back, right foot comes forward. Good, have your heart forward for this one. And other side. Step back, left foot comes forward. It's okay if it's off your mat a little bit. Switching to the other side. Right foot comes forward. Now you can hold here if you'd like, or we're gonna add a little tricky move in here. Let your weight come onto your left hand a little bit. We're gonna step the back leg and kick it through our left hand and our right foot. I'm just gonna demo it again. Support yourself on your left hand and you're kicking your foot through. You can grab a hold of it if you'd like, or you can just hold it in that lunge. A little bit of a core exercise to get it back. So you're gonna lift your body up and send that foot back. Now let's try it on the other side. Left foot forward. Remember, you can stay and hold here, or try the little kicking action. So supporting your body weight in your right hand and your left foot. Take that back leg and you're gonna bring it through, kicking it through. You can hold on with your hand if you'd like. And a little core action to get back there. So you're pressing your hand and your foot, make some space, step it back. Good job. And step both feet back. Let's hang out in down dog. Stretch out our legs. From down dog, we're going to come to a squat in the middle of our mat. So you can step your feet forward. If your heels are up, no big deal. You can roll your wrists a little bit. Now we'll loosen up those hips. So you're going to drop your heels. Try to have a hold on your toes and let your hips come up. You're in a forward fold. So your toes are slightly pointing out, getting ready to squat. See if you can keep a hold of your toes and drop your hips down into a squat. Chest is up. Let's try that 3 more times. Send your hips up, head goes down, forward fold. And drop into a squat. Loosening up your hips here. If you can't reach your toes, no big deal. One more time. Find yourself in a little forward fold. And then squat. You can squat down wherever you reach. Last forward fold. You can release your toes, grab a hold of opposite elbows, soften the knees and sway side to side. And then release your hands, drop your seat down into a deep squat. We're gonna find our way down right to our bum onto our mat. You can bring your legs out in front of you, wiggle them out a little bit. And then we're bending them at the knees, hands supported behind you, and a little twisting action side to side to loosen up your low back. One more time each side. Good. Legs are back to the center. You're going to keep a hold of your left knee, so that's going to stay bent. You're going to hug it in, straighten out your right leg. So keep holding on to that leg and it'll help you sit up nice and straight. Now we'll do a little bit of lifting action with our right leg. So you're going to point your toe and you're going to try to lift it. Imagine there's a little block or something under your foot. You're lifting it up and over, tapping it on the floor, and then trying to lift it up and over, tapping it back on your mat. So lift it over the imaginary block. Try to stay seated tall, back and forth. Try not to lean back too far. We want to use our hip flexors. Sit up tall, lift it up. A couple more times. Not a muscle we use often. And back to the center. Woo! You can straighten both, wiggle it out, let them go side to side. And then we're going to bend our right knee, hug it in. Let's try it with our left leg. Point the toes, sit up tall, step it up over that imaginary block one way, and back to the center, up and over. Let's try a few times. Last one. Good. can bend both knees, hug them into your chest, and rock and roll back and forth on your mat. Rock and roll right up to seated. You can work on your boat pose from here. So hold underneath your knees, lift your chest up, squeeze your legs together, and try to lift them up parallel to the floor. You can reach your hands towards your heels if you'd like. Now you try and hold there and take a peek at the screen. I'll show you our next move. We're rolling forward and back. Don't want to run into my cat. Find a little momentum and see if you can roll right up to standing. So you can let go of your boat pose now, get a little few rock and rolls and see if you can roll right up to standing, or just come meet me here. All right. Hopefully everybody's flailed about in their home and we're all standing now. Let's reach our arms up towards the ceiling, balance on our tippy toes, reach, reach, reach. And we're gonna drop our heels, drop our seat, and throw our body down. Sit, bring yourself back up on your tippy toes. And it's like we're sitting into chair pose and dropping our hands really quickly towards the floor. One more time. Big inhale as you come up on your toes, and then a big exhale, swoosh, as you fold down, sweep your arms. Hands reach up one more time. Good. And this time we'll just drop our heels so we're standing. And we're going to step the right foot back about a foot and sweep and fold. Folding over that front leg. Hands reaching up towards the ceiling. Big stretch in our left hamstring. Shift your weight forward. Bouncing on our left foot. Hands come to your heart. Pick up your right foot. Just going to flow through that 2 more times, a little balance and a stretch. Stepping that right foot back, folding forward. Hands reaching up like you're holding a big beach volleyball behind you. Shift your weight forward. You're balancing all your weight on your left foot. Hands to your heart. Right foot comes up halfway, balance. Last fold. Step it back, fold, toes come up. Try to have a nice long back here. Don't tuck your tailbone, try to keep that natural little curve. Adjust until you feel a big, deep stretch. And then shift your weight forward. Find your balance, hands at your heart. Once you feel steady here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to come into a little warrior 3, and we're going to try to tap the floor with our hands. So start to fold forward, see if you can tap the floor. And then use your leg muscles to come right back up. Balance city. We're back in our starting position. Try that 2 more times. Start to lean forward. If you can't reach the floor, just bring your hands to your chest and lean halfway down. And then see if you can come back up, keeping the leg lifted the whole time. Try that again. Start to lean forward. Bring your fingers down. Tap. And then squeeze everything tight as you come back up. Hands together, let them slide down your heart. And you can bring both feet to the floor. Wiggle your legs out a little bit. Let's dive forward into a forward fold. Halfway lift. And we're going to fold, plant our hands, step back into a plank. Knees up or down here. Keep your elbows in. We're going to lower as slowly as we can. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back. Baby cobra here, just open your chest. Let's push straight up to down dog here. One more vinyasa. Come forward into your plank. Knees up or down. Lower all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back, engage your legs, and just open up the top part of your spine here. Little back bend. No pinching in your lower back. Roll back down. Find your way to down dog. Now we'll step, walk, or hop to the front of your mat. So you're in a forward fold. Generous bend in your knees, let your head go. Press into the floor with your feet and roll all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back, head comes up last. Sweep your arms up. And you're gonna step your left leg back this time and fold forward. We're back to doing it on the other side. Hands come up over your head. Shift your weight forward. Find your balance on the right foot. Hands to your heart. Left leg lifts up. 90-degree bend there. Don't forget to breathe. And fold. Step the foot back. Right toes pop up. Hands reaching behind you. Shift the weight forward. Find your balance again. One more time. Stepping a foot behind you, folding forward. Try to get your chest towards your toes. Long spine. Arms are engaged like you're holding something. Shift your weight forward. Hands to your heart. Left foot comes up. Once you've got your balance, bring your arms overhead. And then we're going to fold. Tap our fingers to the floor. And then strong legs to come on up. Keep the leg lifted if you can, back to your balance pose. I can cheat because I can hold on to my fan. Fold. Fingers tap the floor, come back up. One more time. Hinging at the hips. Tap your mat. Come back up to your balance. Hands come together, they can slide down to your heart and you can bring both feet down to the mat. Wiggle it out. Let's get one more vinyasa in there. So you're going to fold forward. Halfway lift. And plant your hands, step or hop back to your plank. You can lower all the way or try chaturanga to up dog. So you lower halfway. Untuck your toes, press up, up dog. Heart is lifted and we meet in down dog. You can either hold in down dog or try two more vinyasas. So you're coming forward into your plank. Lowering halfway. Chaturanga to up dog. We meet in down dog. One more time. Rolling forward into your plank. Lower halfway. Up dog. And down dog. We'll all meet here. Step, walk, or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Generous bend in the knees. Let your head go. Press away from the floor and roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. Roll your shoulders back. Your right foot gonna take a big long step behind you. Pivot your feet, hands on your hips. Press your hips forward. Lift your heart to the ceiling. And then dive forward. You can let your hands go to the floor. Forward fold. On your next inhale, you come up onto your fingertips so your back's nice and long. Bring your heels in a little bit and you're going to lunge side to side. Bending one knee at a time. Even it out and come back to the center. Both legs are straight. Heel toe your feet into your squatting distance and you can drop your bum down. Just like we did earlier, we're going to drop our heels and fold. Big bend in the knees. You can roll on up to standing. We're going to stay in the middle of our mat and just do a little turn so we're facing the front. We'll do a little crow practice here. So coming down into a squat, heels can be up. If you don't want to do crow practice, just come to your hands and knees and rock forward and back on your wrists and roll your wrists. Spend a little time just strengthening them and warming them up. But for those of you who want to try crow at home when no one can see if they face plant, spread your fingers wide, press them down underneath your shoulders, look forward and not down. Start to lift your hips up and lean forward. You can start just by leaning forward, making a little shelf. You can rock back and forth. Nice and gentle here. See if you can get your toes off the ground. Try rocking back and forth to start. Get your hands strong. If you're on level 2, you can lift your hips up a bit more. Place your knees on your triceps there. And then start to lean forward and tuck your heels towards your bum. Wherever you're at, just play around a little bit. Good work. And then everybody can come on down to their seat when they're done with that. And let's roll onto our back. Let your knees fall side to side. Nearing the end of the practice there. You can close your eyes. Then back to stillness. We're going to cross our right ankle over our left knee. And then interlace our hands and gently hug it in towards our body. Hold here for a couple breaths. Now, keeping your legs crossed, bring your left foot to the floor, totally cross your legs, and let everything fall over to the left. You can take your gaze to the right, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. Little squeeze in your abs to bring yourself back to the center. Uncross your legs, go into the other side. Cross your left ankle and hug it in.
that bottom foot, cross your legs totally, and we're gonna let them fall to the right side. You can take your gaze to the left. We'll hold here for a little. Engage your core, roll on over to the center, hug your knees into your chest, and you can rock side to side. And then try your rocks forward and back until you get a little bit of momentum to come right back up to seated. And we'll finish it here for today. I like to keep them short and sweet so you can just get started and get a little energy to do whatever else you'd like for the rest of the day. So thanks for following along, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Namaste. Have a good day.